everyone. Welcome to another episode of GTV. So I've been asking a lot of friends before I actually choose the topics that I discuss. I actually ask them, my business friends, what do they want to learn more about? And most of them are really asking me for more sessions about marketing, about social media. So I started coming out with different episodes on that topic. But today, I think I'm really interested in this one as well because it's not something a lot of Filipinos do. No, we go paid marketing. We usually use Facebook, but in terms of like Google Ads, we have no clue how to start. So today, my special guest is Ping Rivero. He's right now in the US and he is a performance marketing manager for Lending Home. Hi, Ping. How are you?
Hi, Ginge. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me, and good to see you again
Yes,
after a
great.
while.
Thank you so much, Ping, for saying yes and teaching us the basics of Google Ads today, no? So, maybe a little bit of intro, no? Can you tell us more about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So, as Ginger mentioned, I'm a performance marketing manager right now at a company called Lending Home here in San Francisco. But I was born and raised in the Philippines, so I moved here 2 years ago. Um, so prior, I led growth at an insurance tech startup called Gabby, also here in San Francisco. Um, so pretty much focused there also like doing growth, performance marketing. And prior to moving to the US, I actually worked for Ginger at Taxumo. So I owe a lot to Ginger and the whole Taxumo team. So that's where my career started, essentially. So yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Ping was really good at growth marketing in terms of like measuring a lot of these KPIs that we had for marketing. He was the guy that we had. So it's very great to see you again, Ping. I think Ping, we're gonna share with them like a few slides, no?
Yeah.
To at least help us with the discussion. So for those watching, please feel free to like comment and ask questions because I'll show it to Ping anyway later on, and I think we can answer it. No? So
Yeah.
I'll give you uh wait, I'll make you a co-host so that you can share the slides. Okay, so
Present.
we see it there you go. Okay, so let's start, Ping. Maybe you can take us through like the basics.
Yeah. So first of all, sorry, hindi yun ang kaganda yung slides ko. I just did this like an hour ago.
No worries, no worries.
Pero yeah, so to be honest, like Google Ads can be like a very complicated subject or like a very complicated field. So I tried to like kind of concise yung pinaka basics niya.
Okay.
To get the grasp on how it works, what are the basic components, etc. So that's why I said like that's why I kind of put it here. Google Ads super basics. So oh yeah.
Parang ano pala to, ECQ, GCQ.
Yeah, parang ganun.
Super basics. Okay.
Yeah. So before I parang go through the slides, ito yung I would just like say this like basic terms na marinig nyo quite often as I go through the slides. So one, campaigns. So I'm probably sure you heard of it. Ad groups, keywords, ads, obviously. Bids. So bids, ito yung amount na you're willing to pay for a keyword when you're doing your ads. Clicks, conversion, ito yung mga sign up, purchase ka, nag-subscribe, etc. Cost per click, which is a very, very, very common term sa Google Ads. Cost per conversion or cost per action. And lastly, quality score, which is like a very important part when it comes to Google Ads.
Okay. Pero you'll go through it. Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
next slide.
but I guess before we go through like before we go through the slides,
yes.
The common question usually is why would someone actually want to invest in Google Ads?
Yes.
So there's always this comparison na bakit compared to Facebook ads, ano ba yung Google Ads? So I think one of the biggest benefits that I see, or like also the biggest difference compared to Facebook ads, is that Google Ads is more intent-based, or yung mga tao na tina-target mo in Google Ads have higher intent. So kung isipin mo, like for example, may hinahanap ka, alam mo na sa sarili mo na at yung hinahanap mo. So let's say you're looking for a condo, you're looking for a certain service. So parang nandun yung intent. Alam mo na kung ano gusto mo. Compared sa Facebook where parang ano siya based on a feed. Kasi
yes.
sa Facebook kasi parang ang goal ng isang user is to, to connect with friends, look at pictures, etc. Hindi siya exactly to parang hindi siya ganun ka-high intent compared to Google Ads.
Okay, got it.
So that's like one of the biggest parang distinctions between the two platforms.
Okay. I'm actually taking down notes as well.
Yeah.
We talk because
Yeah.
I really want to learn this. So if you guys are watching, you can also take down notes, no? Okay.
So yeah, before like anything else, so ito yung parang basic campaign structure for a Google Ads account or a campaign. So ito yung pinaka basic. So obviously ito Google Ads account, ito yung pinaka-account mo. And under the account, you can have several campaigns. So campaign 1, may campaign 2, and for each campaign, may certain ad groups ka rin. So for example here, may ad group 1A ka, ad group 1B, and under each ad group, you have keywords and also your ads. So this is like a very, very basic structure, and usually this is like the structure that beginners start with. Pero once you go like more advanced, makikita mo may iba-ibang setup na. So, meron mga tinatawag na single keyword ad group, which I personally use. So, pero ito yung parang basic foundation niya when you're starting out.
So, Ping, why will you have like different campaigns? When is it best? How will I know if I should create like different campaigns and then different ad groups and then like keywords under that? Like when should I know?
Yeah, so actually perfect timing may example ako.
Perfect.
Okay. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So ito, parang example lang just to like parang validate why we need like different campaigns and why we need different ad groups, etc.
Okay.
So usually parang the biggest one is like to make it easy, like for example you're a real estate company and you have different products, you have different product categories. So just basing this from example, so your account mo, Google Ads account, and as a real estate, agent siguro or real estate broker, you're selling condos, you're selling houses. So you can actually have a campaign that only focuses on selling condos and also another campaign that also focuses on selling houses.
Got it.
So how you're categorizing your campaigns towards like a single product category, or it basically makes it easier to manage in a way.
Yeah. Okay.
So like in this example, so let's say sa campaign mo about condos, you sell studios, you sell multi-room condos. So you're kind of customizing it according to the product category to make it more narrow and also targeted in a way. So we can go a level deeper down. So condos, let's say sa studio ad group mo, nandito yung mga keywords na studio unit for sale, studio unit Manila. So ito yung parang mga inisip mo, ito yung mga keywords na sinesearch ng mga potential customers mo or potential buyers mo na studio condos. And at the same time, yung ad mo, let's say yung ad mo is studio unit for sale, no down payment, which is parang a common advertisement for real estate professionals.
Okay.
So kumbaga parang ito yung this structure basically it helps you manage the campaigns better. Mm-hmm. And you kind of like you categorize in such a way na parang these campaigns are targeted for a certain thing.
Okay. All right.
So yun yung pinaka basic gist niya. So talagang it just makes it easier to manage, and it makes it more it's how do you say this? Parang you can see the intention or like the focus of a certain campaign. So
it really boils down to like your if ever your business objectives. No? So for example, like if you're a startup with like with a core business or you focus on one thing, you can have it like yung campaign mo, it's based on, let's say, I don't know, like different behaviors of the market, siguro, or something like that. But if you're like a startup that's multi-threaded, no, like you have different kinds of products, pwedeng ganito, like condos, houses, or like this service versus this service versus this service. No? Pwedeng ganito.
Yeah, essentially. So, ayun, yun yung parang pinaka-ano niya. So, also another example, like, if you're an e-commerce company, like, siguro may mga different products ka. Meron kang apparel, meron ka electronics. So, pwede mong may campaign ka for electronics, may campaign ka for apparel, etc., etc. So, yun yung parang pinaka-gist niya or pinaka-purpose niya on the structure. So, moving forward, so sa Google Ads, ang parang pinaka-heart of the whole thing is the keywords because ito yung mga gusto mong ito yung mga gusto mong gastusan or investan to push an ad to potential customers. So sa Google Ads, there's like a bunch of different types of keywords. So may broad match, may phrase match, exact match, and modified broad match.
Okay.
So ito medyo medyo confusing siya, but you'll get you'll get more understanding once you go through. Okay. So the reason why like may mga different types of keywords because parang to think of it, you're looking for different permutations, parang different possibilities of what a potential customer searches for.
Okay.
So let's say sa broad match condos for sale, pag ito yung parang nilagay mo sa campaign mo, lalabas yung ad mo, whatever, para as long as andun yung mga keywords ato, condos for sale, lalabas yung ad mo. Even though, for example, yung customer mo, sinearch na, no down payment, condo for sale in Mandaluyong. Parang ganun.
Okay.
So parang, as the word suggests, broad match siya. So very broad yung target niya. Next one is called the phrase match. So ito, para medyo na-narrow down mo na condos for sale, ibig sabihin ito yung makikita niyo, may mga marking siya. So for phrase match, gumagamit tayo ng tama ba ito? Colon ba ito? Or apostrophe?
Quotation mark.
Quotation mark. I'm sorry.
So tayo yung maglalagay niyan ng quotation marks. Okay, alright.
When you set up the campaign, it's pretty key na nilalagay niyo yung mga markings ito for each type of keyword type.
Okay.
So for phrase match, ito, ang kinaiba nito is it's a bit broad, but you're also a bit specific. So, di ba sa broad match, nilagay mo condos for sale and lalabas yung ad mo pag yung sinearch ng user. Pero sa phrase match, pag sinabi mong condos for sale, enclosed with the quotation marks, Google will make sure na lalabas yung ad mo if this phrase, condos for sale, is present in the search query.
Okay.
Basically in the same order as well. So pag itong nilagay mo, in the same order din siya dapat lalabas.
Lalabas din siya pag looking for condos for sale.
Yeah.
Lalabas
basta nandun yung phrase na yun.
Condos for
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
And so yung phrase match, next one is exact match, which is para pinakamadali. Kasi exact talaga siya. So, pag nilagay mo condos for sale,
yun talaga.
Yun talaga. So, yun na yun.
Okay.
And the last one is modified broad match, which is actually my personal favorite as well. So, how I kind of manage my campaigns, I actually lessen using phrase match and mostly use modified broad match as like an alternative. Kasi, in my opinion, this is more like flexible. And at the same time, si Google kasi, it's also trying to match like synonyms for the keyword.
Okay.
So let's say, nilagay ko dito, condos for sale. Take note, yung mark na dito is a plus sign.
Yes.
So when I put this in my campaign, my keywords could actually show for, or my ads could actually show for search queries such as this. So nakita nyo condos to, pero lumabas sa ang search query ng users condominium. So Google is actually looking for also a synonym or a close variant to that keyword. And the order varies as well. So pwede rin mag-jumble. Pero as long as these keywords are present in that search term, lalabas yung ad mo. So it's more flexible compared to the previous three. So yeah, that's an essential type of keyword that you actually want to utilize as well.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, and last note about keywords, Google is constantly updating these. So actually, right now, parang very recent, like last quarter, parang
Yeah.
nag-update sila. Ang challenging yan with Google Ads is they're making it more, making, parang, let's say an exact keyword isn't exactly exact anymore.
Yeah.
So parang ito, for condos for sale. Pag alam na ni Google na synonymous to condominiums or like apartments, lalabas pag nag-search yung keyword, pag nag-search yung user ng apartments, which is synonymous to condos,
yeah.
Ilalabas ni Google yung ad mo.
So, ganun na. Okay.
So, medyo naging complicated na siya. So, there's also this practice where you do negative keyword lists or negative keywords to exclude some terms that aren't relevant to you. Kasi yun nga, parang minsan, or si Google kasi nagbibigay na siya ng mga synonymous terms. It's important for you to exclude. Kasi for example, ako, real estate agent ako, pero di man ako nagbebenta ng apartment. I-exclude ko sa campaign din kasi di naman relevant sa akin.
Kasi baka may chance na lumabas siya, no?
Yeah. So, yun. Medyo nagiging ticket na siya, pero there's workarounds for it.
Okay.
So, yun. There's like a basic cover for keywords. And the next one is actually ads. So, these are basically the examples of what the Google ad looks like. So, nakita nyo, ito may mga marking to ad. So, nag-search ako. So, nagulat ako sa Philippines. Walang masyadong Google ads. Pero, yeah. Basically, this is what it looks like. Ito yung mga ads na kinakraft nyo.
Grabe, sustain to. Parang for kalahati na ng page mo ad.
Yeah. So, yun, nagulat din ako nung nag-search ako. Condos for pati sila. Okay.
Yeah. Kasi yung I guess dito sa Philippines, no, we don't understand pa kasi how it works that much. So yeah, that's why siguro konti lang yung ads na. Or maybe dahil condos for sale, they're not really actively selling at this point in time.
Yep.
Probably.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. And also, it's also good to point out na I don't really have like data to back this, pero I guess you can see na parang mas maraming Facebook advertisers in the Philippines compared to like Google Ads advertisers. Meron din mga Google advertisers sa Philippines, pero I think parang looking it into in a local perspective, mga Filipinos kasi more engaged in Facebook eh. Everyday na dun sila. So I think that's the reason why more people are utilizing Facebook ads for their business compared to
more
Google
social
ads.
Media kasi tayo, diba?
Yeah.
We love talking to each other.
Yeah, exactly. So, ayun, it's just like one of the observations then, comparing the affinities between like here in the US and also sa Philippines.
Yeah.
So,
oo nga, no? Sige.
So, yan. So, these are like examples of the ads as I mentioned. So, ito yung mga copyright or i-build nyo when you build the campaigns. So, next one is parang just to give like an overview of how Google Ads exactly work. So, essentially, Google Ads is an auction. So, kung may nakita kayo mga TV show na nag-auction na may nag-benta ng ganito, may nag-bid, ganun din yung, that's also the way it works as well.
Okay.
So, let's say, for example, auctioneer sa Google. Tapos yung mga binibenta niyang keywords is for condos. So, okay, advertiser 1, condos in Manila, magkano bid mo? Parang mga ganun eh. So, a lot of different advertisers are bidding for a certain keyword. And Google sets the price as well. Mm-hmm. So, makikita dito, the higher the bid, the more competitive it is. So, pag mas mahal yung keyword mo, talagang makikita mo na marami nagko-compete for that keyword. Pero it's also important to note na, sige, let's say nagbid yung mga different advertisers, pero essentially what will happen in the end is that you will only pay for the bid of your competitor.
Next competitor. Yes.
So let's say, for example, si advertiser 1 nagbid ng 5 pesos. Next advertiser nagbid ng 8 pesos. Ikaw nagbid ka ng 10 pesos. Pero to get that keyword, babayaran mo lang actually is 8 pesos, not 12 pesos.
Mm-hmm. Galing.
So, ganun yung parang general dynamic niya on how it works. So, and this is just like a very, very basic
Basic.
overview of how Google Ads works. So basically an auction.
Okay.
So
kasi there are a lot more factors, siguro to add on, no? Like, there are a lot more factors pa that come into play for bidding it. Hindi lang naman yung higher the bid, the more competitive. But generally speaking, no, we can start with that talaga.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, parang to share with parang beginners, I know like, ako rin kasi na-experience ko tayo, when I was starting with Google Ads, takot ako mag-bid. Kasi minsan nakikita ko, ang mahal ng keyword. Pero, as long as you know na this keyword is very relevant to your business and you're willing to buy it, kasi nga, parang, you can see like a good return on investment if, nag-bid ka sa keyword na to. Bid ka lang. Pakikita mo naman kung ano yung magiging result niya. So,
pero Ping, like, where do we start? Like, where do we begin in terms of like the figure? Diba? Parang, like, this is the first time that I'm gonna bid for condos in Makati, let's say. Like, how do I know like what to put dun sa bid ko?
Yeah. So when you're setting up the campaign, you actually want to do your keyword research first. So this is a very important process. It's a non-negotiable process. Ito yung talagang pinaka-heart ng Google Ads. So when you go through the keyword planner, so basically magre-research ka ano yung mga keywords na gusto mong i-target or mga search queries na gusto mong i-target ng potential customers mo. And the good thing about this is that Google actually gives you estimates on how much these keywords actually cost. So when you go to the UI, mag-search ka lang, lagay mo condos in Manila. Magbibigay na si Google ng complete list of different keywords relevant to that search query or search term.
Okay.
And makikita mo rin kung magkano yung pinaka-lowest bid na pwede mong i-bid. Tsaka pero pinaka-highest na bid na pwede mong i-bid.
So this is in Keyword Planner?
Yeah, it's in Keyword Planner.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Okay, so actually I can show it as well later, parang just to for example.
Yeah.
Pero I also wanna parang touch on this one, which is a very, very important thing when it comes to Google AdWords, which is quality score.
Yun.
So, ano ba yung quality score? Basically, ito yung way for Google to measure the quality of the ads. Parang to see if relevant ba siya sa searcher, relevant ba tong landing page, relevant ba yung landing page ako sa dinedirect mo yung user, etc. So, it basically allows Google to know ano yung mga relevant ads na papakita niya dun sa mga nagsisearch sa Google. Also important thing din is parang the higher the quality yung ads mo, mas bumababa yung presyo na binabayaran mo for clicks. And yung position mo, mas gumaganda. So, the better the quality score, yun nga, mababa yung presyo, tas mas mataas yung ranking mo sa search results. So, this is a very important one kasi ito talaga yung basis si Google kung mag-decide ba siya, okay, lalagay ba kita sa taas, lalagay ba kita sa baba, ganun. Parang ganun yung pinagbabasahan niya. Pero just to give a quick breakdown, parang ang pinaka-components niya is yung click-through rate mo. Kung basically, out of all people na nakakita ng ad mo, ilan yung nakiklik dun sa ad mo. Ad relevance, kung relevant ba yung content mo, relevant ba yung mga headlines mo. And lastly, landing page mo. So, let's say for example, condos per sale, nagbibid ka ng search term for condos per sale. So, may ad ka, condos per sale, no down payment in Manila, etc. So, pag nakita ni Google na mataas yung click-through rate mo for that ad, mataas yung quality score mo. And also, kung yung landing page mo, directly dun sa, let's say, yung ad mo is for a studio unit. Okay. Yung landing page mo goes directly to a page for a studio condo. So, makita ni Google, okay, yung ad mo, very relevant siya dun sa search term ng user mo, yung ad mo, very relevant, and also, pagdating nila dun sa actual website mo, relevant din siya.
Okay.
So,
paano yung, kunwari, kaka-start ko pa lang, so wala pa yung CTR, wala pang click-through rate, yung even siguro yung ad relevance and landing page relevance. Paano yon? Like, how does Google do it? Pag first time ko pa lang mag-run ng ad.
Yeah, so for first timers, it's, talaga siya, you need to experiment. So, the only way for you to know is to actually test the whole thing.
Okay.
Walang ano si Google wala siyang parang pre-assessment kung ano ba yung magiging CTR mo, relevance mo. So it's usually talagang mag-experiment ka on different ads, different landing pages, etc.
So may possibility talaga na parang it will become cheaper as you learn, as you grow, parang ganun. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Usually, it takes around siguro, parang based on experience, around 1 week minimum for you to get initial results from your campaign.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay. And usually, parang ways to optimize quality score is to make your ads more enticing and also send them to the right page. Kasi kung isipin mo, kung marami nakiklik, ibig sabihin relevant yung ad mo dun sa hinahanap nila.
Yeah.
So talagang alam nila na, ito hinahanap ko. Okay, click. Anong ganun.
Yeah. At saka kung nag-click man sila, tapos hindi sila, it's not the right page, hindi na sila mag-visit, diba? Like, or parang aalis sila right away.
Right.
Okay.
Also, ito, to take note, ang quality score kasi, it's ranked out of 10. So, 10 out of 10. You always want to aim for greater than 7. Greater than or equal to 7. Kasi yun yung parang benchmark of a high quality score. If you go below 5, that's a red flag. Parang matataas yung CPC mo, mababa yung rankings mo. So, usually, parang to summarize, pag below than 5 ka, nagsasayang ka ng pera, essentially.
Okay, this is a good tip. Oo nga, no? Discounted. Discounts start at 7.
Yeah. So, ito rin, nag-update yung mga yan. So, kasi Google, maraming papuluyan eh. So, maraming updates na nangyayari.
So, baka tomorrow, iba na yan.
So, yeah. It's just important for you to continually optimizing your campaigns.
Got it.
And, yeah, ito yung parang a basic checklist when you're starting a campaign. So, ito yung mga essentials na hindi mo talaga pwedeng So first, pixel tracking. I think ito yung mga usual mistake ng mga first-time advertisers na hindi nila nilalagay yung tracking code of Google. Kasi basically, pixel tracking is a way for you to measure the performance of your ads. And you implement as a piece of code to your website to make sure na natatrack yung mga different events. So, for example, you're an e-commerce site, natatrack mo yung mga nag-visit ng mga certain product pages, yung nag-add to cart, yung mga nag-purchase. So, it's very important that you install this to your website kasi this will allow you to determine kung successful ba yung campaign or hindi. So, yeah, this is a non-negotiable, talagang dapat.
Kailangan gawin. Okay.
Yeah, so second, set your budget and goal. So, maraming there's different ways to actually set a budget. If you want to go to the more meticulous or very detailed way, depende siya sa keyword research mo kasi you're kind of forecasting magkano ba yung potential magagastos mo based on the CPC or cost per click nung isang keyword. So may mga tools na rin si Google for forecasting, so that's pretty helpful as well. And yung iba naman talagang gut feel lang na okay, may 1,000 pesos ako, tingnan natin kung ano mangyari. Which I personally have done several times, and actually sa akin medyo mas mabilis yan kasi nakita ko agad yung mga results. Pag nagiging meticulous kasi ako, parang
tumatagal pa.
Tumatagal lalo eh. So, ayan. And 3, before you set up everything, make sure to organize your campaign. So, going back to the example, parang categorizing makes it easy to manage your campaigns. So, product type, service type, etc. So ayun. Number 4, keyword research. So think about parang biggest tip for beginners is put yourself in the shoes of your potential customer. Ano ba yung sinesearch nila? Ano ba yung hinahanap nila? So parang base it there or start with those ideas of what the potential customer would look for. And yeah, last 3, create your ads, obviously. Make sure you make it enticing, make it relevant to a customer. Number 6, URL tracking. So this is also one of the biggest things na nami-miss ng mga beginners. So Nakakita ka na ba ng mga URL na sobrang haba? Di ba?
Oh,
Parang,
yes.
parang may landing page, tas may mga parang UTM, gano'n.
Oh, yes.
So, yun yung mga UTM parameters. Basically, what it does is it helps you track the performance also of your campaign. So, let's say gumagamit ka ng Google Analytics, which is like a very popular analytics tool.
Okay.
Makikita mo na, okay, from this campaign na may UTM campaign condo, siya yung nag-bring ng most traffic sa site ko. Makikita mo yung mga breakdowns nun sa Google Analytics. So, this is a very key thing. Kasi pag wala to, parang, you're managing your campaigns kind of blindly in a way.
Okay.
So, that's also non-negotiable. Make sure to always have that UTM tracking. And, those are like the basic things, and you can just simply launch.
So, Ping, like, for example, like for pixel and URL tracking, is it there sa Google Ads? Parang nandun ba yun? Dun ba yun siniset? Like, do you get the pixels from there? Ganun ba yun?
Yeah. So, actually, dumuha ko yung pixel. And also, this is also a good question na, kasi, so, may mga tao na medyo parang, I would say, hindi mo ma-intimidate, pero maano sila eh. Kasi, code, paano ko lalagay sa website to?
Oo.
So there's two ways.
Okay.
If may engineer ka, you're lucky kasi sila pwede mag-implement ng code sa website mo. But there's also an alternative where if wala kang dev, there are tools like Google Tag Manager where you can implement the codes by yourself without any technical help.
Oh, so yun pala yung work ng Google Tag Manager.
Yeah, it just makes it easy for you to put the code or implement the code in Google Tag Manager. Or, I mean, in your website.
Oo.
Kasi, especially for non-technical people na hindi sila masyadong familiar with code, this makes it a lot easier as well. Kasi, mostly copy-paste lang siya, hindi mo naman siya usually ma-manipulate yung code. Talagang copy-paste, copy-paste process lang siya.
Okay. So that's both for pixel and URL tracking. Parang ganun.
That's only for pixel.
Pixel. Okay.
For URL tracking naman, it's something that you connect with your final URL. So let's say my final URL is condosphilippines.com.
Okay.
From that URL, may mga i-add akong parameters next to it. So my UTM campaign, UTM content, UTM term. So there's actually tools as well for this that Google has.
Okay.
It makes it easier for you to build these URLs. So I think it's called Campaign URL Builder tool, I believe.
Campaign URL Builder. Sige, we'll look for it na lang. Tapos we'll share it na lang siguro comments, no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Great. Meron palang mga ganun. Another question, sorry. In terms of like pixel tracking, if you're selling something like an e-commerce site, it's easy to know like where to put it kasi diba you can define like actions. So let's say I'll add to cart, add to cart, tapos purchase and then completion ng delivery, etc. No? But let's say if you are like a consultant, tapos the website is primarily just for people to visit and to get to know about you, no? Like, is it still essential to put pixels? And like, can you give an example where it can be more beneficial for like individuals like consultants or let's say freelancers na hindi naman talaga like buong customer journey yung nasa site nila?
Yeah. So, usually, how I kind of look at pixel tracking is if there's like a transactional process in your website, it's a key thing to include. So let's say for consultants, your goal for your website is to actually get leads for your consulting business. So I would actually implement pixel tracking on, let's say, yung parang lead page mo or lead form mo in your website to track ilan yung mga leads na nagko-complete ng form, ilan yung leads na nag-enter ng email nila, phone number, etc. So parang just to make it parang easier to understand, as long as may transactional process na nangyayari within your site, it's an important thing for you to implement pixel tracking. Kasi it also helps you track yung mga key events na nagde-determine kung successful ba yung campaign mo. So let's say yung consulting business, your campaign mo is your campaign's goal is to get leads from your website. So kung pag pag may pixel tracking website mo, makikita mo na, okay, in this sa campaign ko na to, makikita ko 3 leads came in from this ad. So yung pixel tracking, yung function ng pixel tracking is to actually track those numbers or record those numbers to Google Ads Manager to see ilan ba yung total leads na nakuha ko dun sa campaign na to, ilan total leads na nag-complete ng certain action na to, etc.
Okay. So, ganun nila magagamit. Okay, yeah. Got it.
Cool. What else? I think parang a few last things. So, for for metrics, so there is a lot of metrics, and parang usually you can categorize this into parang may mga ad metrics and also like internal metrics. Pero usual ad metrics is ito yung mga parang usual maririnig nyo, and also a usual thing that you need to monitor. So first, obviously, cost, yung magkano ba yung ginagastos nyo sa ads nyo. Cost per click, basically to see magkano ba yung binabayaran mo per click, para to monitor kailangan ko ba mag-bid, kailangan ko ba mag-bid down, etc.
Okay.
Cost per conversion, which is something that I personally monitor very closely. Kasi it gives you signals as well kung if your campaign is performing very well or not. So let's say ang target mo na cost per lead is 50 pesos. If I see my campaign having cost per conversion na, let's say 100 pesos. Oh, okay. Parang
mahal.
Red flag. Ano nangyari dito? So yeah, it just helps you see if it's performing pretty well. And number 4, ROAS or return ad spend. It allows you to see kung parang basically ROI. Kung positive or negative ROI ka ba sa campaign mo. Okay. So that's also a usual thing that you monitor. And lastly, like I mentioned, the importance of quality score. You always want to see that quality score greater than or equal to 7. If greater than or equal to 5, it's a sign for you to actually, make optimizations and make your campaign improve.
When you say monitor, Ping, like how often do you monitor itong yung mga numbers mo?
Okay, that's a really, really good question. So I personally look at it on a weekly basis.
Okay.
So I actually have this, I personally created this process based on like experience na kung paano, on how things change usually. So usually what I do is on a weekly and bi-weekly basis.
Okay.
When I do weekly, ito yung usually pag ito yung mga bagong campaigns or ito yung mga high spending campaigns ko. Kasi I want to monitor if it's actually showing good returns.
Yeah.
Yung mga bi-weekly, ito yung alam ko na parang okay, parang stable yung campaigns na to for like 2 months, 3 months, showing good performance consistently. So yun yung mga parang usual ko. And I also do
evergreen campaigns mo yon.
Yeah, parang evergreen. There's also some aspects that I monitor quarterly. So I can actually send you like the system that I have, which can be helpful as well for your viewers that they can base it from. So usually weekly, bi-weekly, also like quarterly, just to like see how healthy are my campaigns. Pero honestly before, very parang may anxiety ako when it comes to these. Kasi minsan ginagawa ko parang every hour tinitingnan ko, ano yung CPC ko?
Ano nangyari?
Kabado kayo. So for beginners talaga medyo kakabahan kasi 'di ba gumagastos ka ng pera. Pero as you go through the process and get more into running ads, mabibuild mo yung confidence mo.
Yeah, yes.
So yeah, it's very common na matatakot ka. Kasi ako minsan dito na makatulog sa mga campaigns ito.
Pero Ping, may sinasabi sila na may learning stage ang mga ads talaga for Google.
Yeah.
So that's why ba 1 week yung sinabi mo? Is it like 1 week bang learning stage, or it really depends on like how you ran the campaign?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So there is a learning stage. So usually one of the main tips that parang advertisers or experienced advertisers say to beginners is be patient. Kasi for these campaigns, it takes around like a week or two to learn ano ba yung magiging performance itong keywords mo. So it doesn't take a day or like an hour to for you to see results. Talagang you give it time to learn, parang to see how Google reacts or sees your ads or your campaigns.
So, huwag kayong kabahan, guys. Huwag naman every hour. Kasi meron din talagang learning stage pa for them.
Yeah. Pero don't worry, that's a beginner's thing. Kahit ako, takot ako naman.
Magagastos ka na malaki.
So, yan. That's completely fine. Pero yeah, be patient. That's one of the tips.
Nice.
So, actually, it's like one of my last slides. So, a few tips. So, first, be patient and let it learn. So, may mga algorithm. Si Google Ads kasi, it's both creative and scientific. And, it's also a piece of technology. And these technologies have algorithms in place na nag-learn. So, don't be, huwag kayo masyadong kabahan. Like we mentioned, talagang be patient lang. Let it learn. Give it some time. And after a few days or a few weeks, makikita nyo, okay, ito yung mga initial learnings. Anong gagawin natin next? So, number 2, it will work for some time and then it won't. So this is like a very common tip. So we have this, actually have this thing called, so sorry for the language. We have this thing called the law of shitty click-throughs.
Yeah.
So basically it means that when, at the beginning, something would work, pero let's say after a few weeks, after a few months, it won't work anymore. So this was coined by Andrew Chen, who led growth sa Uber. Siya nag-head ng growth, siya nag-head ng growth marketing. So, parang just to give like some examples. So, di ba before, yung next start yung mga email banner, yung mga click-through nun para mga 150%. Kaso, as time goes by, nasanay na yung mga tao essentially nakakita mga email banner. So ngayon yung mga click-through rate yan para mga 0.03% na lang. So ganun din difference. Yeah. So ganun din sa campaigns mo. So if you see na okay, nag-work yung campaign ko for like first few weeks. Hindi mo siya wag ka maging kampante kasi anything can happen. So yun nga, do a weekly or bi-weekly monitoring to see how your campaigns are performing. Kasi at some point, gano'n yun hindi na siya magpa-perform the same as before. So, yeah. So yun, which leads me to my next tip, optimize. Talagang, if you're gonna be doing Google Ads, majority of the time that you'll be doing is optimizing. Yeah. So, creating ads, creating campaigns, parang mga lang yan. Mga saglitan lang yan. Pero, day-to-day, optimization talaga yung focus mo. So, and just continuously optimize. And lastly, I think ito yung parang tip na minsan nagugulat yung mga ibang tao or natatakot sila. So, invest time to learn about how these technologies work. So, like I mentioned, yung mga ad platforms na to, Facebook, Google, they have algorithms and certain models working. So invest time how it works kasi may mga may mga not rules pero may mga may mga certain rule of thumb sila. So for example, when you're increasing your bid or your budget 10 to 15% lang.
Okay.
Don't go beyond 20%, 30% kasi if you go beyond that rule of thumb, babalik sa learning stage yung campaign mo. So essentially lahat ng mga learning na let's say nakuha mo within the past 2 weeks, parang okay, bye.
Null and void. Wala na.
So yun din, na-apektuhan din yung performance mo, yung cost per click mo nagbabago, cost per conversion mo nagbabago. Kasi nga, parang si Google, parang, bago to ha. So talagang i-review nyo ulit, paano siya perform. So there's a lot of these things that you actually need to learn. Yung nga, parang how much do you increase your budget, how much do you increase your bids, gano'n ba kadalas mo kailangan edit yung ads mo, mga gano'n.
Yeah.
So it's
Yun,
important to
speaking of which, no, like, editing, kunwari makita ko na hindi nag-work ang isang campaign, hindi ba ako mape-penalize for it? Like, hindi ba like, di ba, like parang, kunwari, palit ako, tapos next week, palit ulit ako ng ad, hindi ba ako mape-penalize pag ganun? Or it really depends?
It really depends. So usually penalties naman for ads is based on their ad rules. So it's not exactly like sa SEO. Kasi sa SEO, si Google talaga, sila very meticulous with penalizing SEO specialists. Pero sa ads, they only penalize if you're parang you're not abiding to their policies. So let's say parang naglalagay ka ng mga fake headlines, exclamation mark, may mga trademark ka na hindi mo ginagamit na you don't have the right to, mga ganon. Mga pinipenalize. Pero when you edit ads, they don't penalize you exactly. Pero
naman,
ang effect lang nun is yun nga, nag-learn din ulit yung
ulitin lang.
Campaign mo. Kasi nga, parang sa mata ni Google, bago to. Kailangan i-review ko ulit to, tingnan ko kung relevant ba sa user to, etc. So,
got it. Okay. So pag nagbago ka ng copy, yan, bago na naman yan. Learning phase ulit siya.
yeah.
Papasok ulit siya doon. Okay.
And I guess from experience as well, parang it varies din. Sometimes, ako kailangan ko talaga yung baguhin yung certain ad kasi nagbago yung pricing ko, nagbago yung nagbago in terms ng services ko. Yung mga ganun, kailangan mo talaga baguhin kasi.
Siyempre, oo. Okay.
So, yeah, pero there are terms din na parang, let's say, description lang, may binago kang verb or adjective. Parang, hindi na siya, nire-revert back to learning. Pero yung mga major changes, yun yung mga usually,
yun yung pumapasok. Okay.
So, yeah, ito yung last two. So, suggested resources lang. So, the stuff that I personally use and have been helpful as well while I was learning these is first WordStream. So, this is like a very popular go-to site for a lot of marketers kasi nagbibigay sila ng mga suggestions on how to optimize your campaigns. And also, they also give you information about industry trends.
Nice. Stream. Okay.
Industry mo, kung let's say real estate ka ba, magkano CPC mo, mga ganun. So, it's very helpful. And they have a lot of educational tools as well. 2 YouTube channels, which is, I think ginamit ko the entire time. Kasi, for background as well, so I was never really a marketer. I was a software developer. So, YouTube was like, parang ako nagka-bachelor's in YouTube. So, dito ko na natutunan halos lahat. So, obviously, Google Ads channel, you can learn the basic fundamentals and how it works there. And another one is Measure School. So, one of my favorite YouTube channels.
Ikaw nagsabi sa akin ito Measure School.
Yeah. So, this one, it focuses more on like a lot of the technical side. So, this is also where you can learn about the algorithms, how the technologies work. So, yes, one of the best sources out there. And lastly, kasi I would say sa lahat ng mga naturuan ko, lahat sila kasi parang na-overwhelm sila pag nag-search sila sa YouTube, Google Ads tutorial. Sobrang dami.
Ang dami.
Hindi nila alam kung alin. So there are a lot of good YouTube videos out there. Pero personally, I actually recommend them to buy a certain course, which is this on Udemy. Kasi this basically covers everything, like from basic to advanced. And the teacher here is very good as well, explaining the concept behind, parang, for example, yung Google auction, how it works, and paano ba yung actual application niya when you start running your campaign. And yun, nagpapakita siya ng mga step-by-step tutorials as well. So, yeah, I just recommend people to actually invest in this. So I think it's usually $100 or 5,000 pesos. So I know it's a bit, siguro pricey, pero it's honestly worth the investment. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually still go back to this course every time I forget something. So,
yeah.
And yun na yung...
Okay.
Yun na yung entire...
Thank you, Ping. Grabe, ang dami ko natutunan, no? I hope, like, our viewers also took down notes. Siguro, no, in terms of, like, trends right now, what do you see like is happening like before like this pandemic happened? Like in terms of Google Ads as well. In terms of Google Ads, no? Like what are the changes that you've seen marketers do before this and now that and during and siguro moving forward?
Yeah, so good question. So pre-COVID, so obviously parang a lot of advertisers are, I would say, aggressive. So yun nga, parang typical like business as usual na they're bidding, they're continuously optimizing campaigns and continuously spending a lot more money to to run ads. Pero after COVID, what I saw is that first yung cost per click nagmura siya.
Oh, talaga?
Lalo na sa amin kasi um, basically what happens there is bumaba yung CPC, ibig sabihin that's a sign na maraming advertisers yung nagpo-pull out.
Retract, yes. Oo.
Or marami nag-i-stop na mag-run ads kasi siguro wala na silang budget for running ads, nagtitipid sila. So, yun yung nakita kong trend. And for active advertisers naman, they became more intentional or became more narrower with their targeting. So, for example sa amin, yung nakita namin na nagbago na yung entire landscape. Parang bumalik kami sa drawing board. Sino ba talagang gusto natin i-target ngayon? And ano ba talaga nag-drive na most business sa amin? So, for example, sa amin, initially, na-target namin 28 states ng US.
Yeah.
Pero after this COVID pandemic happened, nag-narrow down kami to around 10 states na lang, which we feel na ito yung 10 states na nag-drive ng most business sa amin. So, ganun din yung naging shift ng marketers. So, like, for example, e-commerce. Nagpo-focus sila doon sa mga certain demographics or certain geos, let's say, na nag-bring ng most business sa kanila. So, ayun. Mas sinanarrow down na lang targeting nila. So, that makes them confident na we're spending money where we can actually get a return.
So more siguro more intentional na sila no with everything. Yeah. More intentional like ano yung budget for this, how much and how much return will we get from it. Yeah. So tingin mo Ping, like I know you've spent years no in the States. Tingin mo why is it like Filipinos we haven't really adopted to this kind of thing like being more intentional, measuring like performance versus like people from there.
Yeah. I think going back to dun sa parang mini discussion natin kanina is that I think in a local perspective talaga Filipinos are more active on Facebook. And parang if they're looking for something usually parang hinahanap nila Facebook page.
Yeah, true. Okay.
And I think yun din parang since malaki affinity for Facebook in the Philippines, hindi minsan lumalabas sa search results eh. So, let's say nag-search ng I don't know, flower shop, lalabas sa search result initially Facebook page.
Oh, true.
But I don't have the data, so
yeah.
Pero that's what I've noticed comparing when I was doing marketing there compared here. Kasi dito talagang malaki yung malaki. Dito malaki yung dependency nila with Google. Kasi everything they Google everything. Parang nearest gas station, mga ganun. Nearest dentist, talagang everyday ginagamit siya. And
hindi ba kayo ma-Facebook dyan? Yung mga tao dyan?
Dito actually hindi. Compared sa atin.
Hindi. So it really depends on the behavior siguro also, no? I think no, it's really it all boils down to like how the customer behaves towards your product. No, kasi kung kunwari like let's say SSS, kunwari lang SSS, hindi ka naman pupunta sa Facebook talaga to like search SSS, alam mo yun? Kasi gusto ko mag-contribute, di ba? Parang pupunta ka pa rin sa Google. So maybe that's how like we business owners and marketers who are watching should treat this also. No? It's an option also, no? And it's good that you have it. In your experiments and stuff, no? So maybe can you cite like an example okay lang naman not to mention any brand, but in terms of like how Google has really benefited you, like ano kaya yung extent of the returns that we can get as business owners if we just know how to work with Google Ads?
Yeah, so actually this was a very recent experiment that I did, which is COVID related as well. So yung knowing nga na within our market sa current company ko ngayon, we're only the active lender in the space. So I have the understanding na yung mga customers namin, they're adjusting to the market, they're adjusting to the pandemic. Yeah. So ang naisip ko experiment, how can I craft my ads that's more parang it empathizes and parang it understands their needs.
Yeah, that's true. Uh-oh.
So before yung mga ads ko, parang hard money lender available, lowest rates, mga ganun. So ang ginawa ko, shinip ko yung, or nag-experiment ako ng new variations, which is a bit more COVID related, where it's more empathizing, it's more understanding towards the customer. So ginawa kong mga new ads is hard money lender, we're still open for business. We're here to provide options for you.
Got
so
it.
Parang nun ko binish yung yung messaging ko, where parang going back to basics. Ano ba yung kailangan or ano ba yung intentionally hinahanap ni user or ni potential customer. So I think in any experiment, it all boils down to ano ba talaga yung intent, parang intentionally hinahanap ni customer.
Yeah. So, tingin mo ba, like, when we run ads, like, how long before how long does it take before we hit our, like, let's say, business objectives?
Yeah. So, minimum, I would say, parang, it's just like, parang generalizing. Around 2 weeks, I would say, like, it's a good timeline. But sometimes it takes longer. Especially, like, for us, we're very data-driven. Up to like measuring statistical significance, measure namin siya. Kasi let's say we're comparing to or parang we're A/B testing two campaigns.
Correct.
Minsan there are times na parang 2 weeks kahit hindi pa statistically significant yung mga results namin. Parang nagde-decide lang kami, parang just to act fast and see what happens. Pero there are also like times where we want to be safe and say na okay, let's run it a bit more. Let's say give it a couple of more weeks until significant yung mga results, and then doon kami magde-decide ano yung i-run namin, ano yung ipopost namin.
Yeah. So talagang it really depends as well on nasa na ba kayo in terms of tracking. If you're sort of like in a company that's mature in terms of like really like looking at data and monitoring data, then siguro ganun kabilis, no? But siguro for us beginners, siguro months yan before we actually like get to our business objectives, because it's really trial and error. Tama yung sinasabi ni Ping. It's all about experimenting. It's all about iterating to get to that, no? Eventually. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think that's it for today. So don't worry if you have any questions about Google Ads, just leave it in the comment section so that we can, like, I can ask Ping to help me out in answering all of your questions about this. And siguro we can invite Ping another time to talk about growth marketing naman. Kasi I think we tackled like some terms also na parang like growth marketing and all of those. What does it actually mean? Siguro. And I also know as a marketer, I would love to share this as well with Filipinos na like we have to be more data driven already in our approach when it comes to marketing, because not a lot of people do that. Yeah, we're sort of pretty clear already on what our objectives are when we're business owners. So alam natin that this is what we want to achieve. We need this much sales, we need this much leads, no? And then I would think like most of us are pretty familiar with Facebook, kasi we have a lot of like Facebook coaches offering courses online, no? But when it comes to like collating all of the data from different channels, from different platforms, like how does it go? Like how do we know where to put our money, where to bet our money on diba, on these different platforms, how much to bet on, how do we track it in a way na parang combine sila lahat, and which brings us like to our business objective. And maybe even like speed, no, we'll talk about speed later on when we invite Ping again, like how fast, bakit growth marketing, how quickly should we experiment, and all of these things, no, so marami pa yan. So thank you so much, Ping, for sharing your knowledge today. Oh, sorry, if they want to reach out to you, do you like give consultations or something, like consultation sessions?
Yeah, so actually I actually do this for free. Kasi just different context, I started parang not having also resources to actually learn these. So I'm always open to to help you guys for free. And recently I started this parang personal office hours. So
Nice.
I'm not sure kung anong time dyan, pero I allocate 1 hour every day just to parang someone can schedule. So I actually have a calendar. So
Ang
they can
galing
like
naman.
they can book they can book something they want to talk about marketing or whatever. So yeah.
Galing, Ping. Okay, so we will share that as well, no? So that you guys can book a session with Ping. All right, thank you so much to all of our viewers today. I hope you learned a lot. If you like this video, please like, share, and if you're on YouTube, please click on the notification bell. All right, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.